Crafting is a really big part of the Elder Scrolls Online, but a lot of people aren't familiar with why crafting is important, the Grandmaster Crafter Achievement, and how crafting can help you further your game. In this video, I'm going to go over everything there is to know about being a Master Crafter, including how to get the Grandmaster Crafter Achievement, and how you can incorporate crafting into your daily routine so it's not painful and helps you have a better game overall. Make sure you watch the entire video so you know all the details of being a Master Crafter, how to get the achievement, and some really good ways to incorporate crafting. And as always, if you like and subscribe to this video, it helps me out a lot and I can make more videos just like this. Let's get started. So first things first, what is a Grandmaster Crafter and why do you care about it? Well, the Grandmaster Crafter Achievement in the Elder Scrolls Online is a collection of other achievements that are all revolving around crafting. Those achievements are Professions Master, which is reaching level 50 in all 7 crafting skills, the Unsurpassed Crafter, which is completing 100 Master Writs, the Trait Master, which is learn all 8 normal traits on both armor and weapons at least once. The Jewelry Trait Master, which is learn all 9 traits at least once, either on a ring or necklace. Learn the Nirhoned trait, which is learning the Nirhoned trait at least once. True Style Master, which is completing 50 full style motif page books. The Recipe Compendium, which is learning 100 provisioning recipes. Potency, which is translating all except the last 2, negative and positive potency runestones, and the Botanist, which is learning all the traits of all the original alchemy reagents. Now this sounds like a tall order, and it is definitely one of the harder achievements to get in the game. It takes some time and patience, but I'm going to walk you through the easiest methods to get each of these achievements so you can become a Grandmaster Crafter. But first, why do you care about this achievement? Well, this is a title that a lot of people in the game will recognize. They know that you can craft just about any gear in the game, and you also earn the Skyforged Smith Hammer outfit style, which you can apply to a one-handed weapon. This is cool throwback to Skyrim, so if it's something you are looking to get, this is the way to get that style page. It's also something that in guilds, they will look for people who are Grandmaster Crafters who can help craft gear for other people. A lot of Grandmaster Crafters will craft gear for new players, and it's a nice gesture to tip them, so this is a way that you can make some extra money, and it's just a really nice well-rounded ability to have in the game. In addition to this, being a Master Crafter for yourself to create gear is really handy. A lot of the gear in the game requires X amount of traits being researched in order to craft that gear. So if you're a Grandmaster Crafter, chances are you have those traits done and you can craft just about any gear that you would like in the game. In addition to that, it makes doing Master Writs and your daily crafting writs super easy. You're probably maxed out on your leveling for crafting, so you get the maximum amount of gold, and you have 50 pages, so there's plenty of Master Writs that you can complete. Another huge benefit of being a Master Crafter is you can now transmute your gear to be any trait that you have learned. This is why it's beneficial to keep researching even after you've hit your 9 and 8 traits on jewelry and armor, because with your transmute crystals that you've gotten from running random dungeons, maybe playing some PvP, you can then change your gear to be a different trait. This means if you get a really cool gear item that dropped in a trial, but maybe it's not the right trait, you can change it using your transmute crystals to be the correct trait as long as you have it researched. So this is going to really help you create the sets you want to be the best tank, healer, damager you want to be in this game. It also benefits you to have the passives filled out that allows you to use less mats to level up your gear. So if you want to gold out something and you have these passive filled, you can only use 8 of that gold material versus 20 if you don't have this filled out. So it's a really great way to fill out your skill points here, and having all of these skills maxed out is going to be super beneficial to you as well. Now, even if you don't really have a use for these potions or enchants yourself, you can always make them and sell them at a guild trader or even in zone chat if guilds are not your thing. So this is a really great way to make some money because not everybody can make the 3-tier potions or the enchants using the Kuta because they have everything maxed out, etc. So this is another great way to earn some gold in addition to the other methods that I have mentioned here as well. So it's just a handy thing to have in the game. It can make you more gold. I think it's an achievement worth going after. So what are the best ways to get those achievements? More on that right now. Starting with the Professions Master Achievement, which is reaching level 50 in all the 7 crafting skills. The easiest way to do this is to decon equipment for blacksmithing, clothing, woodworking, and jewelry. You can get intricate items which give you more inspiration for deconning them, and this will boost your level every time you decon. You can also decon any white, green, blue, or purple items that you do not need. The higher the quality and the level, the more inspiration you will get leveling up these skills even faster. Now you do have to have the Somerset DLC in order to have access to jewelry, or ESO Plus, since that gives you access to all the DLCs as well. So just something to keep in mind if you're looking to get this achievement. Another way to do this is to add the champion point inspiration boost, which increases your inspiration gained from all sources. This is going to boost you to level 50 a lot faster than you would otherwise. So if you're on a character that has access to champion points, I highly recommend starting out with this skill or adding it to your collection if you don't already have it and you're looking to get this achievement. Now for consumables such as alchemy, enchanting, and provisioning, the easiest way to level up these skills is just to create potions, food, drinks, and glyphs to level up your skill. For example, you can craft a bunch of glyphs, decon them, and then create them again. You'll still burn some materials doing this, but it will level you up super quickly and get you to 50 in no time. You can also make sure you're adding skill points so that you're increasing your level as you go. And then that way, the higher the level you can craft, the more inspiration it's going to give you. If you stay at level 1, your inspiration only creeps up slowly, and it's because you're not creating a high enough level. You can also purchase glyphs at guild traders and decon these. That will also boost your inspiration. But the other two, provisioning and alchemy, you do have to create the potions and food or drinks. Now with alchemy, another cool thing you can do is eat the reagent to learn the first trait for that particular item. And I believe this will also increase your inspiration, and it just helps you with your potion building. So that's something you can do with your very first ingredient drop that you get. Once you reach level 50 in all 7 of these crafting skills, you have your Professions Master Achievement. Next up is the Unsurpassed Crafter, which is completing 100 Master Writs. Now these can be kind of hard to complete if you haven't gotten your 50 full style motif pages, since the blacksmithing, clothing, and woodworking writs will require you to have a specific style and that style item to create them. So if you're looking to do this, the easiest way I would say would be to focus on the provisioning, alchemy, and enchanting writs, since they are a lot easier to get the materials for, and you don't have to know a style page, you just have to know the recipe. And a lot of the recipes are repeated, so once you know these recipes, you don't have to keep trying to find those style pages, and same with enchanting and potion making. Although for alchemy, you do have to spend the skill point to open up that third item option so that you can fully craft the potions. So that's the only caveat there. But hopefully if you already have Professions Master, you have all your skill points in your crafting maxed out so that you have at least the alchemy item unlocked. As soon as you're at level 50 and one of the crafting items, if you do your daily crafting writs, every time you open up one of the boxes for a maxed out skill, you have a chance of getting a master writ. So this is how you obtain them. You can also purchase them from guild traders. A lot of guild traders sell these, so they're pretty easy to get a hold of. And that's another great way to get to 100 really quickly, especially if you're looking for a certain provisioning, potion, or enchanting writ. Guild traders are going to be a really great place to find them. I'll also mention that a lot of the provisioning recipes come from a quest in Orsinium. You can get them for free, so you don't have to buy the plans. I'll throw those up on the screen now, and I'll include a link to where you can pick up the quest and more information in the description. So that'll get you started with some free recipes that you can use for your master writs. Once you've done 100 of these, you get the Unsurpassed Crafter achievement. Next up is the Trait Master, learning all 8 normal traits on both armor and weapons at least once. Now this is important because that means you can pick any piece of armor and any weapon, and as long as you have all 8 on that specific type, you will get this achievement. Now this also means that you should be able to mix and match. So if you have some traits researched on one type of armor and another set of traits on a different type of armor, this should still count as long as as you learn all 8 traits on some weapon and on some armor. Now, in order to learn the traits, all you have to do is research an item, which you can do at any of the crafting stations. Now, researching an item will destroy it, so make sure you pick a piece of gear that you don't need and research it. I highly recommend starting this right away, even if you're on a new character, because the more things you research, the longer it takes to learn the next trait. Now, there are tricks to lower this down. A lot of the crown free rewards for the monthly login include researching pages, which will speed up a specific type of research by a day, and sometimes even all of them by a day. So these are really helpful if you're trying to research. There are also passives you can unlock in your skills to lower the research times down, so I highly recommend spending the skill points here so that you're not waiting as long for your research to finish so you can move on to the next piece. There are also passives where you can unlock additional spaces, so you can be researching up to 3 items at a time. This will also really help you speed up that timeline so that you're researching the most items and getting this done even faster. Last but not least, you can purchase scrolls that you can use once a day to take another day off each type of crafting skill using your Master Writ tickets that you get from completing your Master Writs. You can purchase these from Rawless and use one of each type once per day. So this is another really great way to knock some days off your timers and get there even faster. Same thing with the Jewelry Trait Master. The only reason this is separate is because it came out with the Somerset DLC, and so you have to learn all 9 traits at least once, either on a ring or necklace. So same thing goes here, you can mix and match on the ring and necklace as long as you know all 9 of the traits. You can find the following traits in the following sources. So the Bloodthirsty trait is rarely found as a reward for weekly trial quests. So that comes out of the coffer that you get at the end of the week for doing the weekly trial and getting on the leaderboard. Harmony is rarely acquired in Undaunted chests. So that's when you open the Undaunted chests with your keys that you get from the dailies there. You can get an infused ring or necklace, rarely found in Psijic portals. The Triune trait is rarely found from daily board quests in Cyrodiil. The Protective trait are guaranteed rewards for completing Somerset's main quest and the Psijic Order questline respectively. So these are probably the easiest ones to get. As long as you complete the questline, you will get the Protective trait. And Swift is rarely found from jewelry crafting writs. So those are those daily writs that you can do every day. They have a chance to drop a Swift trait necklace or ring. The Arcane, Healthy, and Robust traits are very common and will probably be the first ones you want to research. Most gear that drops from Overland, dungeons, etc. have the Arcane, Healthy, or Robust trait on them, so these are pretty easy to find. Now, a couple of these can be kind of tricky. They drop from some strange places, so if you're having trouble picking up one of the types, check a guild trader. A lot of these traits will be for sale at guild traders. You might see a random platinum ring or even a pewter ring or necklace, but pay attention to the trait because that is why people are usually listing a plain item like that. It's so that people can buy it for their research. Next up is the Learn the Nirhoned trait, which means you have learned Nirhoned at least once on any item. Now, you can complete the Craglorn questline and get 1 piece of Nirhoned equipment just by completing the entire questline. So this is a really easy way to get your first piece of Nirhoned equipment. Otherwise, you can buy them at the traders. A lot of people are now maxed out on their Nirhoned trait. Originally, everyone had to trade items that they made to learn all the styles or buy them at a guild trader, but now a lot of people know them, so you can find just about any piece of gear with Nirhoned at a guild trader if you're interested in purchasing it instead of completing the quest. But the quest is a pretty easy way to get this for free, so I recommend doing that method and saving your gold for maybe some of the other items that you'd rather purchase. The True Style Master is completing 50 full style motifs, which is a tall order. It means you have to have every style in the style book for 50 of the different styles. I think there are a lot of good ways to farm motifs. There are dailies in all the DLCs which can drop different style pages. So this is one way to start farming them. You can also pickpocket people in Vardenfell and get 3 of the styles there just from pickpocketing. the Redaren, Halalu, and Telvanni style pages will all drop from pickpocketing. You can also complete some main story quest lines, such as completing Cadwell's Silver achievement after completing the Cold Harbor Zone. You will get Soul's Shriven style page book, which is a whole book, so that counts for one of the 50. So there's lots of different ways to farm for these. You can also purchase them from guild traders. A lot of the events will drop pages as well. Note that the gold style pages do not count toward this. It has to be one of the purple motif style pages. So whatever way you'd like to farm them, once you get 50 full books of style pages, you will complete this achievement. Next up is the recipe compendium, which is learning 100 provisioning recipes. I think it's pretty easy to pick up 100 recipes just from questing and looting urns, backpacks, wardrobes, dressers, nightstands, etc. A lot of those will drop recipes, and if you have a Xander maxed out or have him out, he will have a chance to drop a research folio, which has a chance of dropping even more recipes, in addition to the champion point you can assign, which will also increase your chance of getting a second recipe. So I think this is pretty easy to farm. You can also purchase several different recipes from the chef and the brewer, which you will need to do your crafting writs anyway, if you don't already know them from finding them in the wild. So I think this is a pretty easy achievement to get here if you're on the lookout for items you can loot while you're questing. A lot of guilds also have recipes in their guild bank, so if you're part of a guild that gives you access to the guild bank, you can always take some pages and either replace them with ones you have or pay gold depending on your guild's policy. If you aren't sure, check in with your guild and see if they have something like that. You can also find plenty of provisioning recipes fairly cheap at guild traders, so if you're looking for a way to fill in the last couple, you can check out a guild trader and probably purchase what you're looking to get. Potency, translating all except the last two negative and positive potency runes, can be a challenge if you are low on bag space and don't want to go around harvesting rune stones. You can purchase just about every rune stone from the enchanter crafter merchants who are usually in any crafting area in a main town. So this is a great way to learn them all. And since you're leveling up your enchanting to level 50 anyway to get the Profession's Master achievement, you can get potency pretty easily by going through and just making a rune with Ta and any of the other middle runes that you have a lot of to learn all of the potency rune stones. So this is something you can combine as you're leveling up your enchanting and knock out learning all those rune stones. Lastly is the Botanist, which is learning all the traits of all the original alchemy reagents. Well, this is really easy to combine, finding out all the traits when you're leveling up your alchemy skill to level 50. What I like to do on all my characters is once I have all the alchemy ingredients available, I just start making potions until I've discovered all 4 traits on one item, and then I move to the next one where I have something to discover. And then I go through the entire list like this, matching up items that make potions. It will tell you if it won't react, so don't mix them if it doesn't say unknown potion or unknown poison, because you'll just waste your ingredients. But otherwise, you can pretty quickly make your way through the list, building up your alchemy skill, and then you learn all the traits so you can get Botanist. Once you have all of these achievements completed, you will get the Grandmaster achievement, which also gives you the Grandmaster title. This title is worn proudly by a lot of people in the game. It lets people know that you know how to craft just about anything. So it's pretty prestigious, and I think one of the reasons why people are willing to grind for it, in addition to what I mentioned earlier and being able to craft just about any set, doing the master writs, etc. So now that you're a Grandmaster Crafter, what else can you do and how does this benefit you? Well, I think the first thing that can benefit you is doing Master Writs. Now, I know you already did 100 of these to get the achievement, so you probably have already seen that you get writ tickets and that you can purchase things from Rawless or his other assistant, Faustina. And there's some really valuable items here. You can buy furnishing plans if you're into housing. You can buy some dummy targets that you can use for parsing. And there's also attunable tables, which you can buy in addition to the Grandmaster crafting stations, which you can put in your house and add sets to them from all over Tamriel so that you can craft anything and anywhere right from your house. Now, a lot of guilds will have a guild house that have these tables filled out, but if you're interested in building your own guild house, or maybe you just want to start working on having some tables that you like to craft, you can use these attunable tables to start doing that. So first, you should purchase the Grandmaster crafting stations, which you do need the Grandmaster crafting achievement for. Once you you have those purchased, you can start purchasing the attunable tables and then find the set wherever it exists in Tamriel, whether that's in Cyrodiil for some PvP sets, overland sets from the various DLCs or base game areas. Go to that area, take out the attunable table there, and it will automatically become that set. So make sure that you're at the right set area before you click the attunable table, otherwise you might get a set that you don't want. Once you have the set attuned, you can bring it back to your Grandmaster crafting station and upload it to the table, and voila, you can craft the set here right from your very own house. Now, if this doesn't sound like something you're interested in, you can still use your RIT tickets to buy various items and sell them at the Guild Store Trader. These furnishing plans typically go for a lot of money since there are a lot of gold and purple plans, and a lot of people don't do the crafting because they're not into it, or the Grandmaster crafting achievement does take some time to grind, so you can use this to your advantage and sell these in the store. I know the Sijic Ambrosia recipe also goes for a lot, or you can simply sell the food itself and make some gold there as well. In addition to this, doing your crafting writs every day, just the normal daily crafting writs, is a great way to make some gold. If you have all of the champion point bonuses, as well as ESO Plus, you can make about 5,000k with every character doing your writs every day. So if you have multiple characters maxed out in terms of their level 50 crafting, you can make it a decent amount of gold and go through this pretty quickly. Now, if this is something you're interested in grinding, there's a really good way to set yourself up every week so that you can spend minimal time crafting and still make a bunch of gold. I'm going to throw a link in the description from Hireling Wanted. They have an amazing crafting guide that tells you exactly what to make and has different options depending on how much space you have on each character. So for example, if you want to start your week on a Sunday and you want to run the optimized build, you would pick up your consumables and then pick up the equipment writs. This should mean that you should see the jewelry writ as your active quest. And so depending on what the quest says, you can determine what to make. So for example, if you have the 3 rings quest, that means you're going to be making the Magicka setup. And so you would scroll down to the items to make for Magicka. It's going to list them out, such as making 3 robes, 2 shoes, 2 hats, etc. And then you are set up for the entire week. So all you have to do is craft this equipment on Sunday, and then every day log in, pick up the crafting writs, and then you can simply turn them in. So this is a really great way to make some easy gold if you're willing to spend a little bit of extra time on your start date. And you can do this on multiple characters, picking whatever method works for you. And it's a great way to make some gold. I myself try to do this on about 4 characters a week, and it's really increased my gold intake. So I'm considering doing even more. Now, another tip for this, if you want to go on and have a lot of characters do crafting, the trick here is to not max out the clothing, blacksmithing, woodsmithing, and jewelry, as this takes a lot of mats, and if you have 20 plus characters, maybe you're making multiple accounts to craft, you're gonna have to start buying mats. So if that's something that you're willing to do, then that's totally fine. But I think a great way to avoid that is to just maximize your enchanting, alchemy, and provisioning. And this will typically get more items, so you don't have to buy the mats, and you can still get the master writs, drop from these characters, and turn in your crafting dailies and make a lot of gold. Another benefit to having a bunch of master writs is that this is a great way to level your characters. So if you're trying to build up your repertoire and have more crafting characters, you can simply save up enchanting, provisioning, and alchemy master writs, and then during an event with bonus XP, such as the Witches Festival that's happening right now, you can send your master writs to the characters that need to do them, granted that they have the alchemy, the 3rd item filled out, things like that, and they can complete these master writs and level up in no time. So it's a really great way to level characters, and it feels a little bit less of a grind than something like Black Rose Prison, running dolmens, etc. So another really great reason to be a Grandmaster crafter, or at least hit level 50 in your crafting so you can get these writs. And that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed becoming a Grandmaster crafter with me, and that this video helped you better your crafting. If this video helped you, you can like and subscribe to my channel. That really helps me make more videos like this. And I also want to give a shout out to my 3 members. Thank you so much for joining my channel. I really appreciate the support, and you help me make videos like this as well. If you're interested in joining, check out my channel page and click the join button to learn more about the exclusive perks you get as a member. Thank you so much for watching this video. I can't wait to see you in the next one.